dowel. Some of us have a ball. So we're going to just take a few breaths together as a group as we feel the feet. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Good. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Yeah. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. As you continue to breathe, letting the breath maybe stay in the nose and out the mouth, or even pursing the lips on the exhale and blowing it out through a pursed lip breath. And that's going to help calm the mind, as we had a little inclination about focusing the mind. Check if, as you're breathing, whenever the breath wants to move in and out of the nose, let that happen. Feel where you're positioning your weight on your feet. So first thing, are your knees locked? If they are, bend them a little bit. And then start to inquire, do I have some weight on all of the toes? And sometimes picking them up and just spreading them and then placing them back down onto the floor is helpful. You can feel the plump pads of each of the toes rooting into the mat. And then you're going to notice the inner side of the heel, so the inner rim of the heel rooting into the floor, and also the outer rim. And then there's the back, and then you can kind of feel the front. It's the one that is kind of the most elusive to us. But in time, you should be able to identify a full circle through your pad of your heel. Most of us have felt our breath flow inside, in and out of the nose, a little bit more quieter. But at times when the breath needs to come out the mouth, let that happen. I just want you to feel as you let your arms and your palm of your hands turn forward, just opening the chest, opening the shoulders. Wiggle the fingers and the thumb. Good. Maybe there's a little play of right to left foot. Now, when you inhale, feel how your body expands and there's a little bit of lift that comes out through the body. And as you exhale, there's a downward release through the body, into the feet, into the floor. So let's just feel that for a few rounds. An inhale and expansion. See if you can feel an upward movement. And as you exhale, see if you can notice the energetic downward flow of movement. Maybe the knees bend a little bit to drop into it. And as you inhale, you might feel the feet root into the floor, lengthening coming up. And I want to bring in just the feeling of the top of the head. So some of you in the Tuesday class were here when I was talking about it. I wanted to bring it in. So you're going to feel the little curl at the back of your skull where your hair kind of creates your little spiral. So you're going to take your hand, you're going to find that point, and then you're going to move forward. And you're going to feel your hands go up. And then at the very kind of like about 1.5 to 2 inches in front of that, there's going to be a peak in the top of your skull. Yeah, most of you can feel it, right? And so you're going to press the finger gently into that peak on the top of the skull, and then you're going to lean your skull up into it. Yeah, there you go. Nice. And so a lot of the time I'll say reach up through the top of your head. This is where I'm asking you to reach. And so sometimes when we tangibly touch it, we can go, oh, there it is. So each time you inhale, I want you to feel this lengthening up and reaching up through the top part of your head. And then as you exhale, I want you to sink into your feet. So you can hold it for as long as you want. When you're ready, you can even let it go and just see if you can kind of keep that point. And at different times today, I'm going to ask you to come into that, and it's going to create space through your neck, through the whole vertebral column. And then you're also going to feel that opposition of down. So there's going to be a lengthening in each direction, up and down. Now, as you're continuing to feel that, I'm going to direct your awareness down into your feet. And there might be one of your feet that are saying, "Ooh, I want you to start the foot rolling on it." Okay, so then the other foot becomes your stability foot. So for me, my stability foot is going to be my right, but you choose because my left foot is calling to be foot rolled first. So you choose if your right foot wants to be foot rolled first, then it's your left foot that anchors. Okay, so you're going to start to press down the foot that's stabilizing, lift the heel of the other foot, and keep that pressing down as you exhale. The lower belly, especially, even the middle belly around the belly button, is going to draw back. And then there's that internal cord or lift up the top of the head where you can then slowly feel that other leg lift without shifting the hips in any way. So you're not dropping into the outside of the foot, you're keeping your big toe inner heel. And you might bounce a little bit to challenge your balance. You might look on the floor in front of you. You might look straight ahead, which is a little bit more challenging. Once you've got down on the floor about 3 to 5 feet in front of you and straight ahead, then you can start to look around. There's 3 stages. And then when you're ready, the foot's going to come down onto whatever you've chosen for rolling out your feet. And you might switch from foot to foot. Yeah. So some of us have the ball, some of us have a wooden dowel. Both are great. And so you always start by just rolling from the toes to the heel. Good. Breathe. Keep the awareness of the weight through your standing foot. And then check in, where is your foot getting drawn to? So for me, there's a little bit where I'm getting drawn to roll out through the outer edge of my foot. So that's your lateral arch. So that's from your pinky toe to the outer heel. And your medial arch is from the big toe to the inner heel. And then your transverse arch is from this pad below your toes here, the base of the big toe and the pinky toe and below all the toes where you transverse. So it's an arc across the foot. So that's called your transverse arch. So we have 3 arches. So if you have the dowel, you can press the foot into that transverse arch, let the toes hang off. If you've got the ball, it's really nice with the ball to roll across that transverse arch, going from big toe to pinky toe. And then you can always wrap the toes around and just hold it and let the feet open. And then some of us know that deeper tool of the myofascial release, which is a pin and a twist, where you put pressure down. So it's what we call compression. And then we do what is called a little twisting motion. So you can do it on the dowel, you can do it on the ball. Okay, and you switch feet at any time. My body asks me to go over to my other foot for a moment. Okay, if you do switch feet, take a moment just to feel your grounding on the other side. So weight, the down and the up, the lift. Yeah, good. Now keep your big toe and your inner heel is rooted as the outside of your foot. There it is. See how your big toe did a little bit more grasping there? Yeah. Asking that to stabilize the outside. Yeah. Good. Relax the fingers, wiggle them, open the palm of the hand and the thumbs. You feel a little bit of kind of tension coming in, and then just let them soften so that the fingers and the thumb are really relaxed. Good. So you're going through both feet. It's fun to switch the device up that you're using because you notice when you go into the ball, it's very pinpoint, right? You can kind of get into one area a little bit more. Whereas when you do the work on the dowel, it spreads across the whole foot. So everything that we use in foot rolling, it has a purpose. And sometimes our foot may call for a different level of release through a certain tool. Yeah. And then you've got the little squash ball, which we've kind of are going to work with a little bit today. I'll hand it out in a little bit if you don't have it, but some of you are even using the little squash ball. Okay, so we're just going to take a few more breaths here just to finish releasing off the feet. So just check in. Is one foot asking you to revisit it? So I've gone back to even my first foot for me. One thing, I get quite a bit of tension in my medial arch. And so one thing that I like to do is I take the ball and I drag it, which is what is called a shearing technique. I drag it from the pinky side of the foot through as I'm putting pressure into the medial arch. And sometimes I can feel, oh, I just want to hover there and hold it. Yeah. There you go, Beverly. Yeah. And it's just kind of, you're pulling it across the foot. There it is. Yeah. Yeah, it's a tricky one when you'll get used to it. Hmm. Yeah, so just checking in what needs to complete it. And then once you're done, you can move your ball rolling, the dowel if you have it, off to the side. Good, we're gonna take this into a forward fold. So I'm gonna be sideways. You can still stay facing forward. We're gonna play with the pelvis awareness that we were just talking about. So one of the things that as we root through the feet and up through the legs, we want to make sure that the pelvis is leading the spine so that we're not using the lower back for most of us to move through the body. And then we end up with feeling a little bit of a soreness there. So as you feel all of your toes, when you're going forward, one of the things that we need to do is shift our weight back on the heels. So do you see that? How I'm shifting the weight back on the heels and my pelvis is going back. Then my torso is moving forward as it's following the spine. And so you're still keeping your toes rooted. So try to just come and see if you can get into a flat back. And then once you find a flat back, I want you to shift your weight a little bit forward. So if I was to look at you from the side, so you can see as I shifted back, you can see my hips are behind my feet. You see that? But then once I find my place, I want to stack the pelvis. There you go. There you go. Over the feet. And then you just hang there. Take an exhale. Draw the lower belly in. Gather the ribs. Reach out that top point of your head. See if you can let your arms go so they dangle. Fingers and thumb are relaxed. Just let there be a little bit of movement here. So it could be a cross, could be circling. Keep reaching back if you can through the sit bone. So it's the very back of your pelvis. This is really nice and strengthening for the back. Then, if you want to go farther, you can always put your hands on your thighs if you want. Go above the knee. Bend the knees a little bit more. Feel how your belly comes down to the thighs. And then what you're going to do is start to lift the bottom of your pelvis up. That's going to allow the spine to follow the pelvis. And then you just release into your forward fold. Remember, when you come down into your forward fold, if you shifted a little bit more weight back on your heels, come back and bring the weight a little bit more forward. So if I was to look at you from the side, you'd be stacking. There you go. Yeah, that looks a lot better, Jane. Do you feel the difference from when you did your first forward fold to that one? Yeah, okay, and then just let your head go. There you go. Yeah, good. So the arms can dangle here. You can also cross at the elbows. So right hand holds left elbow, left hand holds right. Let your head go. Sometimes we're holding our head up and we're looking in front of us. Let your head go so that you can find that decompression through the neck and the head. Only if you have any blood pressure that's coming in and you're feeling dizzy or it's not feeling good, then just bend your knees and come back to the flat back and put your forearms on the thighs. When you're ready, we're going to inhale. As we exhale, press in through the feet. Slowly start to rise up. Then at some point, the inhalation will come in. You might reach the arms up. We're going to go right into a lateral stretch. So as you feel your feet, now watch when you go into a lateral stretch, sometimes our pelvis wants to anterior tilt and our rib cage wants to come forward. So see if you can find neutral pelvis and the rib cage is stacked on top of the pelvis as we inhale, exhale over. Feel the belly in this one expand and the belly deflate. Allow that breath, the balancing breath in the abdomen will not only balance emotions, but it's going to balance the pelvis. Feel if you can reach out that top of the skull. And you're just going to take your time going from side to side. You might just hold here. Most of us are grasping the wrist and just gently tugging through the arm. And then see, does the body want to have a little bit of fold down? Maybe open. Do this mindfully and slow. Might fold down and then open. And then some of you are even feeling it as you go over to the other side. Some of you are letting the body go through. Okay, so we're shifting up some of our movements from having maybe something that we do in patterned and just allowing it to be a little bit different. So you'll feel, does that feel complete? Some of you are intuitively feeling we are going to go into some shoulder rolls. Okay, so we're going to root through the feet, little bend of the knee, inhale, draw the shoulders up, feel the squeeze, roll them back, and then exhale. This breath can come out the mouth as you bend the knees. Good, press through the feet, reach out the top of the head as the shoulders come up, roll back, exhale out the mouth. You got it. Keep flowing, your timing, your pace. Good. How do you guys feel about me turning the fan on a tiny bit? Yeah? Okay, good. And when you're ready, you're going to switch directions. So you're going to go the opposite. So for most of us, that's going to be inhale, drawing up. No, sorry, forward and up. Yeah, and then backing down. And then inhale up and down. Ah. When that's complete for you, so it's going to be at different intervals, you can inhale, squeeze up, and then exhale, just let go, let the shoulders drop. Do that a couple times. Make sure you root through the feet. Inhale, squeeze. Just let yourself flow through it at your own timing. Good, you can do a pursed lip breath and slowly deflate the shoulders. So as you inhale, draw up, and then purse the lips. Slowly let the shoulders descend down as if there's air in the shoulders and the upper chest. Try that again. Inhale, squeeze, and then slowly purse the lips. Blow the breath out the pursed lip mouth and slowly descend the shoulders, letting the tension float away. Now take a moment, let the arms come forward, palms face forward. Reach down through all the toes and the heel. Reach up through the top of the head. Relax the shoulders, wiggle fingers and thumb. See if you need to reach out through the fingers and thumb, create a little bit of tension there, and then just soften the hand and let it go. Some of us don't realize how much holding we have in the hands, the fingers. Okay. Take a few more breaths here. We're going to move into some swinging twists now. So if you had your eyes closed, you're going to open them. And then you're just going to start to swing the arms. And some of you might lift one foot off the floor. You choose. Your height of the swinging can be adjusted to whatever you feel works for you. So is it lower? Middle body? Might even tap the body. So that's great if you're feeling a little bit out of touch with your body and you're wanting to bring in some deeper awareness of proprioception. You're feeling ungrounded, just tapping the body. It's really helpful. It allows you to feel the outer boundary of your body. So you're going to slow that down. Another way to do it is just to allow the hands to tap. You can use the back of the hands to tap the lower back. There's a fascial band, and some of you know this one from coming to class on Tuesday when I talk a lot about the fascia, but this is your thoracolumbar fascia. So there's a huge grid of fascia here that flows down into your pelvis. It comes off your arms. So it gets really tight, and sometimes it produces back pain for a lot of us. But yeah, you don't really realize. Okay. All right, so let's do a little flow. Let's start off with a little warrior flow today. So we're going to find the short end of our mat. We're going to stand with our feet hip width apart. Okay, great. I love your mat, Donna. You can see your feet imprint in your mat. That's great. So we're going to feel right foot taking a little bit more of the weight. Let your left heel lift. Now, once again, you're going to fold forward just a tiny bit to feel a little bit of shift, but it's going to come from the pelvis. So I want you to allow the pelvis to come forward a little bit. The spine and the head will follow, lifting up that leg of the left, and then you're going to step back. So it's about 2 to 3 feet. Good, and then check, am I hip width apart? So you might want to walk out your right foot to the outer edge of the mat. Good, and now make sure that your back heel is angled back a little bit so that you can pivot your pelvis to face forward. So your hip bones are right shining straight ahead. Yeah, so you're facing towards me, Donna. Yeah, there you go. So front knee is bent. Might even bend your back knee a little bit. Now check in. Your knee can go past the ankle. It can go a little bit back, but I want you to notice when you come forward that your knee is tracking over your second and third toe. So every time we go into bending today, I want you to notice that tracking. Okay, so you might even bend into it a couple times and just see, does my knee tend to roll in? What's happening? Okay, find a placement that feels quite comfortable for you. In your bend, let your arms flow up. Good. Let your elbows bend. Relax the ball of your shoulder down into the base of your socket. Feel as you exhale the lower belly, draw back towards the spine. Feel that inner lift as you lift up the top of the head. Good. Excellent work. Take a few breaths. Sometimes the body wants to release out the mouth, so you do that at any time. Okay, we're going to release the arms down. We're going to go into warrior three. So some of us know this one. As our hands come at our hips, we're going to start to lift and push off that back foot. So the heel lifts, so the weight's going to come into our front foot. And some of us might just stay here. Okay, if you want to come and lift this back leg, you got to move from the pelvis. So the pelvis tilts forward. The back leg lifts as the torso follows the pelvis coming forward. Some of you can reach the arms out. Yeah, there we go. I'll let you have the space, Elsby. You take it. No, it's totally fine. I'm good. And then you're gonna come up to standing. Good. Okay, shake out the legs. Okay, so let's try that on the other foot. So we're gonna exhale, feel the foot. Okay, left foot is taking the weight. Okay, so as you start to lift, press down, lift up. This is exactly what we just did at the start. And now you're just taking the pelvis forward. The leg steps back. Good, 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 good. Walk the front foot out a little bit. So left foot walks out. Just so you widen your stance, let the hips come straight ahead to focus the shift. Knee bends. Okay, let the arms come up. Now, this time what we're going to do, I'm going to face you so you can see it. So you're going to interlace your fingers if you can. Just very soft interlace. See if I can get this on camera. Then you're going to gather your inner elbows towards your skull and drop the forearms and the hands behind you. Good. Now, just soften the shoulders for a moment. Let them drop down. Let your shoulder blades slide down your back. Now feel your lower belly as you notice your feet. Exhale. Now, from the lower belly, you're going to think of lifting up through the front body. Good. Let your forearms, the lower forearms, cradle your skull if you want. You're going to feel this reaching up through your triceps. Good. Yeah, you got it. Excellent. One more breath. Hey, release the arms down. Now, if the hands want to touch your hips, other option is to have them out to the side. You're going to start to shift. So your back foot, your heel lifts up. Okay, the weight comes onto your front foot. And you slowly, can feel as the pelvis starts to tip forward, that back leg will come up, the torso will come down. Maybe the arms are out to the side. I've got a wall here, so I'm going to go forward instead. Yeah, you got it. And then stand. Good, shake it out. Okay, so let's do one more release here. And so we're going to use our 4-inch block for this one. And we're going to widen the feet. And you're going to have your feet anywhere from 3 to 4.5 feet apart. Yeah, you can turn sideways. Yeah, and the block is in between your feet, and it might be a foot or so away. Here, we're going to feel the toes angle out first. Now, this is when we're going to check in with the knees. So they should be coming out over the second and third toe, and then sit down. Yeah, good. Lift up through the sternum. There you go. Good, Candace. Okay, we're going to bring the arms up. So this is goddess pose. Forearms and palms of the hands face forward. Wiggle your fingers and your thumb. Feel all your toes and your heel. Good. Now we're going to press down through the feet. You're going to start to lengthen the legs, straighten them, reach up through the arms, maybe a little back bend as you open up into 5-pointed star. Then you're going to come back down into goddess. So bend the knees, ground. So go slow in this one. Good. When you're ready, press through the feet. Inhale, exhale, open up, come back down at your timing. So this is your rhythm. Feel this flow coming in, make it your own. Flow into this 5-pointed star, beautiful. Gonna come back down into goddess to ground. This is an earth to sky. Release the arms down, straighten the legs, angle the heels out. So we're gonna go into revolving triangle. So in this one, we tend to want to be really heel heavy in this one. So I want you to try to keep the toes actively connecting once we're in the pose. So you're going to inhale, arms go out to the side, palms are down. Now you're going to exhale. So we're shifting the weight back on the heels. The pelvis is reaching back. The torso and the head is coming in a flat back. So I want you to find flat back and move your weight into your toes. Good. Reach your fingers, end of the thumbs, out to the sides of the room. Reach through the top of your head, back through your sit bones. Feel this for a moment, just strengthening our back. Pull the front of the ribs in a little bit as you exhale. Good. Now drop your right hand down to the block and then bring your left hand to face the block so it's just hanging in the air. You can bend the knees a little bit. Now you're going to inhale. You're going to start from the pelvis. So as we exhale, your hips are going to start to turn to the left. Then the spiraling of the twist is going to go through your lower back, your middle back, your heart, your chest. Your left arm is going to come up. Maybe it releases onto the lower back. Head is in line with the spine. Good. Then you're going to transition. So left arm is going to come down as you spiral out of the twist. Left hand might take the block. Right hand is facing the block. Start from the pelvis as you exhale. It's an inner spiral. So pelvis shifts to the right, then the lower back, the middle, the upper. Maybe the neck and the head and the arm where it rests on your lower back. Hey, you flow from side to side. If you want, some of you are a little bit more flexible. You might use the block at a different level. You might even come down or feel that you want to touch the floor. But just note that the twist is coming from the pelvis each time. So I'm coming out just to watch. Yeah, good. The head wants to be the leader of this movement, but the head is the last point to move. Okay, so you're going to feel the pelvis move, then the lower back, then the middle back, then the upper. Yeah, think of this inner spiral coming in. Good, you've got it. Reach out the top of your head, back through your sit bones. Good. At any time you want to pause, you can pause with your hands on the block, on the floor, on the feet. Keep the weight even over the feet. If you're not going into deep forward folds, then you're just resting forearms on the thighs, head, heart, hips all in one line with a flat back. Okay, so if blood pressure or something in the nervous system is saying, nope, don't want to be there, then you don't. Okay, you're going to generously bend your knees to come up. That engages your leg muscles, which is going to help the blood rush back up and encourage it back up and towards the heart. So you're just going to press down, reach up. Sometimes I tend to exhale when I come up. Heel toe the feet, shake it out. Okay, so we're going to do some transition down to the floor. I want you to find your short end of your mat. Arms and palms face forward. Notice your feet. Feel the feet, feel the top of the head, feel that inner lift through the center line of your body. It runs in front of the spine. It's like an inner cord. Each time you exhale, you can draw the belly back and then you can pull up through the hole in front of your spine, all the way up through the neck and out the top of the head in that point. Okay, so as you're ready, we're going to bring our palms to touch, thumb in front of the heart. Deep breathing. When you're ready, if your eyes were closed, open them. As you exhale, release the arms down beside you. Press through the feet. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale. Now we're shifting back from the pelvis. So the knees bend, the weight shifts a little bit more in the heels. Pelvis shifts back. Then it folds up. So the sit bones keep reaching up, up, up as you go deeper into your forward fold. Now bring your weight more into your toes. Still feeling heels, but a little bit more weighted in the toes. Okay, so we want to have the pelvis and the knees and the feet in a stacked position when we're in a forward fold. If not, we're weighting and loading the hip joint too much if we're sitting back in our forward fold. It's going into the ball and socket. We don't want to do that to the hip. Okay, so we're going to bend the knees. Bring the hands onto the floor, nice and wide, width of the mat. You're going to step back, big step, flatten the palm of the hand. Big step with the other foot, inverted V, downward dog. Bend the knees if you need to. Press the palms of the hands into the floor. Lengthen through the torso. So the sit bones reach up and back. The head reaches forward towards your hands. Gaze is towards your feet on the mat. You can walk it out. Bend one knee, release one heel. Remember, you can come out at any time and release into child's pose. Here we are. Okay, as you come down, you widen the knees. You let the pelvis sink back first. So sometimes the knees are saying, don't want to flex too much. So then you just pause part way. Some of you are going to be able to go a little bit deeper. Then you let the torso and the head release down. Okay, let's do another lateral stretch off to one side. Walking the arms. So feel the top of your head here. Reach it forward. Relax the shoulders. Reach your pelvis back. So you feel that lengthening through the side of the body. Breathe. Some of you can feel, if you've widened your legs, the belly expanding in between the thighs. And as you exhale, the belly gently drawing back. So going into this balancing breath. Good. You'll note when you want to go back to center and go to the other side. Once each side is complete, you can pause and center. Forehead's either on the floor, you can stack your hands, rest your forehead on the back of your hands. If being in this position for our knees, which I know some of us it is, we're just going to come up. Those of you that feel okay, just pause here. If you're going to come up, you're just going to shift off. Swing the legs around and come off and straighten the legs. Take them off. Those of you that are in child's pose, you can stay there for another breath or two. Come out when you're ready. Okay, so we're going to do a little work on the hips today, energizing the whole leg. So we're going to bring a couple props with us to the ground. So one is you're going to need a bolster. So you can put that at wherever your head is going to be, kind of around the top of your mat. And then you can just have your other ones close by. We're going to just feel the pelvis. No worries. It's all good. So with the knees bent, I want you to hold the shins. You can be just below the front of the knees. You can grasp a little bit on it, but see if you can lift up through the pelvis. So tendency when we sit, right, is for the posterior tilt of the pelvis. So as we lift up, as we press down through the pelvis and we lift up through the top of the head, you can feel your pelvis coming into neutral. Right? You can feel the engagement. So we're going to just do a little bit of work here to energize our upper body before we go down to the floor. So I want you to keep this inner lift. You're going to take the pelvis. So the pelvis is leading. So I'm doing this as a theme today. The pelvis is leading back. So you're not posterior tilting. All you're doing is bringing a neutral pelvis back. So you can see I'm on an angle. Yeah, there it is. Good. Now you're going to lift up through your inner cord, lift up through the top of the head, try to come back to center. Good work. Okay, some of you know this as a starting point of Navasana, right? So if you bring your legs a little bit closer together, it's going to be helpful for you, Beverly. Okay. Let's also put something in between our legs. Squeeze a ball, inflated, or the other option is a block. This might help us. Okay, let's start by just letting the body round for a moment. Just relax. Take a moment to let go, relax the shoulders. And then I want you to find your feet rooting into the floor, hip width apart, squeeze the ball or the block, try to bring that lengthening up, pelvis in neutral. Good. Okay, then you're going to lean back as you do that, squeeze the ball or the block. And some of you might feel, oh, I can release the arms. Some of you might even feel, oh, I can have the arms in front. Reach out the top of your head. Now pull up through your inner cord to lift you up. Good. Let's try that again. Inhale, exhale, come back. Relax the arms. Maybe the hands are on the floor. Reach up through the top of the head. Now, exhale, squeeze the ball. Lift up through the crown of the head to bring you up. Good. Now we're going to come down. So this time I'm going to ask you to posterior tilt. Posterior tilt. Roll down, chin towards the chest. Squeeze the ball or the block. Once you touch the floor, draw the legs in towards you. Give them a hug. Okay, you might keep the ball or block there. You might pull it out. Okay, you're going to circle around a little bit. And take a little moment to release the back into the floor. Nice. Okay, we're going to drop right foot down onto the floor. Keep the left leg in towards you. So hand can be on the shin, or something that feels a little bit more comfortable is you can put your hand even behind the back of the knee. Okay, and let there be a fold here. So we're going to move a little bit with our breath. We're going to inhale. We're going to let the leg and the shin and the foot all move away from the body. Belly expands. As we exhale, we're going to draw the leg, the thigh towards the body. Belly deflates. Inhale, leg is going to move away from the body. Belly expands. As you exhale, draw the leg towards you. Belly deflates. Lower back is pressing into the floor. You're going to do that again. Inhale, leg moves away, belly expands. This time, I want you to press your right foot into the floor. As you draw that leg back, belly deflates. Feel your lower back drop into the floor. Relax your shoulders. A couple more times, your rhythm. Inhale, leg away, belly expands. Exhale towards you. Relax the shoulders. Press your right foot into the floor to help you bring the leg towards you, that you feel the lower belly draw back as well. You might do that one or two more times. Check in if you feel any strain in your neck, because if you do, you can always put a chip bone block behind the head in this one. Okay, once you're ready, you're going to extend that left leg up. So it's like an unraveling of the leg. So instead of moving from the knee joint, you just kind of think that you unfurl the leg. Now you're going to reach up through the heel and down through the left hip, back of the pelvis into the floor. Okay, now we're going to point the toes up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Then we're going to reach the heel up. Exhale. So we're going to do that a couple times. Point the toes up. Inhale. Reach the heel up. Exhale. Couple more. Flow with your breath. See if you can become heavy. Keep the right hip as heavy as the left. Both shoulder blades heavy. Okay, once you go back into the pointing, you're going to pause. Now you're going to circle through the ankle. The toes, you're going to imagine, are drawing a circle on the ceiling. So go slow, because it's not really about the speed. It's more about the range of your circle. There you go. Good. Breathe. Go the other direction. Notice if there's a part of your circle that your ankle does not able to draw as well. Might be the bottom, it might be the top right. I'm just picking a couple random places. Okay, shake out, pause, shake out the whole leg, and let your ankle and your foot kind of feel the shake as well. Then you're going to bend that left knee. We're going to hold, if you want, the leg, back of the thigh. Okay, and you can circle, or you can just let the leg be free. You're going to circle in one direction. We're just freeing the hip. Okay, we're going to be doing some hip work. So I'm just creating some release through the leg, just prepping us for it. Using the ankle and the foot. And we're going to go the other direction. Good. Now you're going to pause and just let that left leg foot come onto the floor. So you might even feel, oh, maybe I just want to lengthen both legs. Maybe you want to keep both knees bent. You choose. If you got lower back concerns, keep the knees bent. And just notice the difference from one side to the other. And take a pause. Remember, at any time any movement comes in that's inspirational or spontaneous for you, you always follow it. If your body says come out sooner, you do that. Okay, so we're going to do the same flow now with the other side. So feet start hip width apart. Now watch, if your toes are angling out, I want you to look, do I have the outer edge of my feet parallel with the outer edge of the mat? Your feet don't have to be the width of the mat. I just want you to notice that the toes are not pointing out, that they're pointed towards the short end, the bottom of your mat. Good. Your left foot stays on the floor. Exhale as you draw that right leg up towards you. Your hand can be behind the knee, can be behind the thigh. And then you're going to move back and forth. So as you inhale, the leg is going to move away. As you exhale, you're going to root the left foot gently into the floor, the pelvis into the floor. The thigh comes towards you, belly deflates. Inhale, belly expands, leg moves away. Exhale, gentle rooting of left foot, thigh comes towards you, belly deflates. You're going to feel your lower back release into the floor. So keep doing that. Inhale away. Exhale towards you. Now see if as you draw that leg towards you, if you can relax your shoulders a little bit, especially widening your collarbone. 1 to 2 more. Yeah, there's just a little call in bodies today to want to do a deeper release in the back. So I'm just starting with that as we touch the floor. I want to be able to go through all of our floor sequence without having the discomfort of the back. Good. Now you're going to extend the leg. So think of unfurling that right leg. Try to get out of thinking the knee, thinking the whole leg just unfurls, kind of like all the ferns that kind of unfurled. Okay, then you're going to point the toes. Inhale, reach up through the heel. Exhale, go back and forth. Some of you will keep holding the leg. Some of you can just have the leg floating in the air, feeling the pelvis really heavy on the floor. There you go. Good job. When you're ready and you're at a point of the toe, you're then going to start to circle, drawing a circle with the toes. Okay, remember, you're slow here. It's not a race and thinking how many circles you can do. It's about checking in. What is my range of motion? So the connective tissue of fascia. Okay, go both directions. Okay, we're working inversion and eversion of the foot. And then you're going to pause. You're going to just shake it out a little bit. Good. As you bend that knee, you're going to now circle through the leg in a bent knee position. So you're going to draw a circle in one direction. You can just allow the leg to be free. You can softly kind of guide the leg with the right hand. Just make sure that your left foot, your pelvis stays heavy. Lower belly, each time you exhale, is drawing back and up. And you go both directions. Just bringing some energy into the lower body. Beautiful. When it's complete, let the right foot come back down. Take a note of how you feel. Little pause again. Let yourself connect right side and left side. So you feel a joining. So we isolated both sides, but we also want to feel how they intermingle with one another. Sometimes we have a tendency for one side of the body to be a little bit more weighted than the other side. One side holds. Maybe it's opposition. Sometimes a right shoulder and a left hip hold. But just check. My shoulders heavy, shoulder blades, even that space in between the shoulder blades, can that become heavy? Your right hip, your left hip, and the space in between the right and the left side of the hip, which is our sacrum bone. It's a downward pointing triangle. At the end is the tailbone. Beautiful. Just gonna be here for a couple more breaths, just taking a little pause. Okay, so we're going to do some work in our legs now. So we're going to roll over to left side. So you do want to be seeing if you can see me or seeing someone else in the class. If you need to flip around, turn around, adjust yourself, you do that. This is when, as you roll onto left side, you're going to use your bolster to support your head. Okay, that bottom arm, which is your left, can be extended and wrap around the bolster. My arm usually likes to be extended. Yeah, good. And then you're going to draw the legs up so they're bent. And you're going to check in with your knees. So check in, especially with the top leg. Is it pulling back at all? So are your knees lined up? So do you need to bring one knee, leg, hip forward? Okay, then you're going to lean the sides of the big toes into each other. Your heels are going to be apart. Now your bottom leg is your right. So the bottom outer thigh, most of you know, is a fascial band. So I want you to lean a little bit forward with your torso, with your legs, so that you can feel weighted on this bottom thigh. And your shins and your feet should hover. Yes, exactly. Now, some of you might feel the right hand touch the right hip. Think of reaching out the top of your head, pull your lower belly in, and then feel that internal cord as you lift the top leg up and down. Try not to roll back at all. Okay, so keep heavy on that bottom leg. Just doing some clamshells. We're working, a lot of you know, the glute, the deeper glute muscles, specifically the medius and the minimus. At any time, if your body says, I've had enough, you rest, you drop your legs. We're just going to do one or two more because we're doing a sequence. So we're going to do a couple things here. So we're going to pause, lower the feet and the shins. Now you're going to root the left foot, left thigh. So you can even just keep the left pinky side of the foot into the floor and just feel a little bit of pressing. Some of you I know like to tuck the toes under of the pinky side, the fourth toe of that left foot. And then you're going to extend the right leg. So I want you to look down through the side of your body. Am I in a straight line? Is my head, my torso, my hips, and my leg all in a straight line? Pressing through inner heel, outer heel, little reaching through the toes. Okay, then we're going to lift the whole leg up and down and up and down. Good. Feel that reaching up through the top of the head. Okay, we're just working side core now. Couple more. Some of you know the sequence. Okay, we're going to not do too many, so we're going to do that last one. Then you're going to pause. And you're going to bring your right leg up. So it's going to come into a right angle. So the right thigh, knee, shin, all in a right angle here. Bringing it up towards your body. Then you're going to inhale. As you exhale, you're going to straighten the leg. Imagine that you're pushing a wall away. You're going to roll forward very gently, keeping the body in a straight line. At the very end of your extension, you're going to point your toe. Okay, inhale. We're going to link the breath this time. Bring the leg up. Good. As you exhale, push down like you're pushing a wall away. Reach up to the top of your head. Point the toe at the very end. Good. When you're ready, bring it out. Inhale. Your breath might be a little bit different. Exhale, press it away. Remember, you're going to want to roll back when you press it away. So just roll forward a little bit. Toe points at the very end. Let's do one more. Excellent. We're going to roll back. onto our back, head supported on the bolster. We're going to take a moment. Now, sometimes we can notice, okay, we're doing a lot of right and left today. So I want you to notice, how does that right side feel? Sometimes we can feel a connection of energy and integration through the whole side. Okay, we're going to do the strengthening on the other side. So I'm going to keep facing you, but you can just even roll over because you know the sequence. So we're on right side now, supporting head, drawing legs up. So just check if your upper body is curled forward a little bit. You do want to bring it back so that your head is in line with your shoulders and your hip here. As the leg comes up, you check your knees are in line. You're rolling a little bit forward, so you're anchoring a little bit more weight on that outer right hip, thigh, inner toes leaning into each other, shins and feet lift off the floor. Left hand can be on the hip if you want, or you can tent the fingers on the floor in front of your torso. Sometimes flat palm of the hand. I like tented fingers. That top leg is lifting up and down. You're not rolling back. Yeah, there it is. Good. Good, Donna. See if you can keep your feet off the floor the whole time. Your bottom knee is not moving, Donna. It's just your top leg. Yeah, there you go. You do as many as you want. You know the sequence. So if your body's saying, whoop, that's enough. I can feel I'm a little bit weaker on this side. I know for me, my left side's a little bit weaker. So you're going to pause. Okay, so that bottom leg, foot, comes onto the floor. There might be a little leaning of that right foot into the floor as you extend that left leg. Check, am I in one line? Sometimes our leg is forward. You reach through the inner heel, outer heel as you lift the leg up and down. Keep reaching out the top of your head. I've got my head a little bit lifted just because my microphone's on this side, so I'm just using my hand to prop my head up. All right, do as many as you want. Okay, pause. Then you're going to bring that left leg up towards you so it bends, comes up. Keep your left hand tented on the floor if you want. Now, see, you're not letting your shin drop down. You're trying to keep one plane of motion for the shin, the foot. So you push the wall away. Maybe a little rolling forward at the very end. You point the toe. Reach up through the top of your head this time. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, push the wall away. Reach up through the top of the head. Point the toe at the very end. You got it. Do it a couple more times. Maybe your breath is a little bit different. Yeah, good. See if you can integrate the upper body into this movement. So do one last one. Good. You're going to come back, roll onto your back. Good, we're going to remove the bolster. Okay, the last part of class we're going to do, and some of you might flip around just to have integration of this. The last part, just checking what, oh, it's over there. Okay, so we're going to use possibly our balls here. So some of us, we all have a pink ball. Does anyone not have a squash ball and want a squash ball? Yes, okay, perfect. And you've got a little squash ball, right, Donna? Okay, I'm gonna come around. Do you want a little squash ball at all? Yeah, they're always great. You've got one. You've got one, yes. No. Megan, you've got one. Okay. You got one too. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're going to start with a little figure four action. So you're going to have your balls close to you. Hey, option for figure four. You can have a chip bone block behind your head, Some of us like to put a chip foam block under the pelvis. Can also try a bolster under the pelvis if it's a little bit challenging to bring the leg up towards you. You're going to start with right side. So you're just going to have your balls close by so you know exactly where they are. You're going to bring the right leg up. We've already done all of our motion to help kind of prepare us for this. So we're going to go right into it. We're going to externally rotate. We're going to bring the right ankle onto the left thigh. Now, exhale, become weighted in the pelvis, relax the torso, the chest, the shoulders. Okay, you're going to press to lift the leg off the floor. You're pressing your right ankle and your left thigh into each other. You're pulling up on that internal cord and you're allowing the legs to come up. Good, you can reach a little bit through the heels. You can release the right leg away. You can rock a little bit from right to left. Some of you might even want to go back into the extension. You might hold the back of the left thigh. Just going into the release here. Breathe. I'm going to show something a little bit here. I'm going to flip around to do this. Sometimes we do this with the block, but you can also, as you exhale, this movement is done always when we're twisting, it always leads with the pelvis. So as you exhale, and so if you've got your right ankle on your left thigh, you can lift up your right hip a little bit and just let your legs release over to the left. Sometimes we use a block. And if the foot doesn't want to come to the floor, we can release onto the block. You don't even have to go that far. And then you can even also release over to the other side. So sometimes just a little release, you're moving the pelvis, the legs are following, and then you're rolling the pelvis back. So my body is asking me not to go so far, so I'm just using this as a tool. And you check in with yourself. And then at any time, you can bring the ball underneath the hip. So one of the things, and it's going to be under your right hip, and I'm just showing with the ball. So you can do it under the fleshy part of the glute, getting into the deeper abductors. You can also go on the outside of the hip. And so that's when this rotation comes in. So you would want to put the ball just beside the hip and then you roll onto it. And then you just offer a little compression and release, compression and release. Some of you will want to roll from side to side. The other option is you might even find using the bolster is what's needed. And you roll over onto one side. You can put your knee, your shin, your foot on the bolster. This is when it's really nice either with the pink ball or the squash ball. And you can roll through your calf, your shin, through the thigh, the iliotibial band, the outer hip. Okay, so I'm just giving you some space as we end our class to inquire, where do you need to go? What do you want to do? What feels good? Ah, there we go. It's really nice in there. Hey, Beverly, that spot in there. Ah, good. That's a good support for you and your knee. Yeah, yeah. I feel like you're kind of getting that awareness of checking in with self, right? Good. Some of us need to take a deeper breath out our mouth. When we get into ball rolling, we forget that the exhalation is there for you to help you release what's no longer needed to be held in the body. So sometimes it's out the mouth, sometimes with a sigh, sometimes a pursed lip. Remember, we approach the body in softness and then we wait for the body to invite us in. Okay, to go a little bit deeper. Sometimes we always want to go deep right away, but I want you to go soft and then slowly let that invitation from the fascia, from the body, to slowly guide you into a deeper sense of release. Use your breath as your companion today. Okay, if some of you get guided as you do to massage anywhere through the chest, and you roll on your back for a moment in between sides, and you just want to pause and you can feel, oh, I've got some tightness in under the collarbone, in the pec minor muscle. You might even take one ball in one hand to massage under the other side of the chest. We hadn't done ball rolling last week, so we're just bringing some in. Depending on what we're doing with body in a day to day, you can listen. Okay, so within the next minute, you haven't started the figure four on the other side. You should go into it. Okay, so just take note what needs to complete on the side. And then the other leg, which is your left, is lifting up, externally rotating the left ankle on the right thigh. You take a moment to descend and become heavy. Bless you. And you're pushing left ankle into right thigh to lift the right foot off the floor. You can pause here. You can interlace behind the back of the thigh, supporting the head here as much as you need to. Sometimes the foot just wants to stay on the floor and you want to go into the gentle twist, but we're leading with the pelvis. The exhalation is accompanying. So if we're twisting to the right, the left hip is leading, the legs are following, and then you're allowing the pelvis to roll back on the floor, the legs follow. Sometimes when we're leading with the leg or we're twisting from our lower back, our legs, our joints. But the power of the pelvis is really the key to allowing a spiral, a twist up through the body. You bring in the ball at any time. Okay, so one side of the body might feel very different from the other. So you're going to check in. Oh, what do I need? Yeah. Jane, I wonder about putting that left leg how you were, but grabbing your bolster above your head and sliding it around. So just as you were, so lying on that side. Yeah, I'm going to come around to you. I'm just going to be off camera for a minute. Yeah, bringing it around. Sliding it down and even resting your leg. There you go. Then you can roll, right? And then you're not, and then the muscles aren't in contraction as you're rolling, right? There's a little bit more of like the body going, oh, I can release in that place, right? A little bit more. Yeah. It just allows you to feel, okay, there's a little bit more comfort in the body. Yeah. Good. So just staying there. We've got about 5 minutes left of class here. Some of you are checking in. What else do I need? You're flowing into it, or you're finishing off, you're rolling. And as you either stay with what you're doing, your body might say, you know what? I feel like I'm not totally complete. I've got a little bit more that I want to do. Some of you might have a movement or two that's going to come in to finish. Some of you might be ready just to lie down and rest. Okay, so you might take a bolster, pop it underneath the back of the legs. I wonder about that for you today, Donna. If you lie down, I'm going to put your head on this block. There we go. You feel A little bit in the torso. Is it hurting in the back? Okay, so let's sit up. I'm going to give you a different place to be. What I'm going to do today is we're talking about this torso for you. And you're going to lie back onto the bolster. How's that?
That's quite a bit different.
It is a little bit different. Now, we can put a block under your head. Now come back down. How does that feel? Oh, we're getting somewhere. Okay, this is feeling better, right? So this is a really good place. This is what we call heart beds. I'm going to give you one more bolster because your legs are saying, I want to release. Okay, so you're going to just allow, we're going to put it under your legs. You're just going to extend them now. There you go. Now just relax. Yeah, you can pull it up towards you if you want. Yeah. There you go. Now just let the arms release and let the palms open up. There it is. Ah, this is you. That's exactly it. Look at you. That's so beautiful. This is a nice place. How does this feel? Okay. Anytime your back feels sore, I want you to set this up. I can help you with it, okay? Okay, so let's take a deep breath in. Let it go. Again, deep breath in. Let go into the earth. See, does that breath want to come in one more time? Maybe it keeps flowing. It shifts, it evolves into a pursed lip breath. Feel your integration here. On each breath, there's that invitation for you on the exhale to just allow yourself to unwind, release into the floor, into any support. The eyes may close, the jaw may relax. You might feel a slight separation of upper palate to lower palate of the teeth. The lips may even part or just softly touch. Relax your tongue, not only the tip of the tongue, the bottom of the tongue, but see if you can travel your awareness back to the very root of the tongue. And let the root of the tongue that kind of weaves into the throat, let that go. Feel the back of the neck widen. Feel your shoulder blades release back into the floor or into a bolster if you're there. Let your breath breathe you. Nothing to do, but just to simply be. A piece that I've read before by Thich Nhat Hanh. A piece called The Art of Living. We have a tendency to think in terms of doing and not in terms of being. We think that when we're not doing anything, we're wasting our time. But that's not true. Our time is first of all for us to be. To be what? To be alive, to be peaceful, to be joyful, to be loving. And this is what the world needs the most. We all need to train ourselves in our way of being. And that is the ground for all actions. Our quality of being determines our quality of doing. Our quality of being determines our quality of doing. And allow for another couple minutes here, just as I create some silence for you to just be with self. Without needing to move, just watch. Bring your awareness just to witness the flow of your breath. As you feel your inhale, just notice how your body is responding to the inhale. There might even be a little gentle widening, a lengthening, a spacious feeling that you feel. Be a little bit of vitality coming in. And as you exhale, notice how there's a little bit of a letting go, a heaviness, a release, a calming. Let yourself flow in between these two states of the breath, the inhale and the exhale, not needing to change anything, just letting your awareness ride along these two waves of breath. And start to feel the invitation to wiggle the toes and the fingers. See how we did a lot of work today to release the arms, the legs, and then let the arms move, the legs move. And depending on where you are, you might even decide to have an awakening stretch, a yawn. Oh. You'll decide when you feel ready to release any props, transition to one side. And there might be a little pause on the side body. And then you come up to sit. Some of us have already found a seated position, but just check in. Does this feel comfortable? Do I need any support? Do I want to sit on top of anything? Do the legs actually want to be cross-legged? I want you to notice, is your pelvis in neutral? We did a lot of work today on the pelvis. I want you to feel that you're really rooting down and then lifting up out that top point of the head. There's a down and up as your arms are out to the side, palms face forward. Open heart. Exhale, let the breath out the mouth. As you press down through the pelvis, inhale, start to reach your arms up. When the hands get around the height of the shoulders, you can even turn them down and even bring them a little bit forward to draw. If you're drawing a top of a triangle, it's a little bit easier for some of us on our shoulders. Palms touch. You're going to draw a line in front of your face, your throat, your heart, your belly, your pelvis. You're going to do that again. You're going to reach up, and you might even think of gathering up something with the breath. And as the palms touch and you bring it down, you're opening yourself up to receive it. One more time, the last flow. This time, as the hands release down, we're going to take a pause at the heart, the sternum area. You might even find that your thumbs rest around the sternum, and then the chest and sternum gently lift into the thumbs. Head can be straight, the head can be bowed, shoulders relaxed, elbows heavy. Breathe into your heart. Feel the expansion of your rib cage and the softening as it gathers in. Some of you might even notice that internal space of your cavity of your chest and actually your heart muscle. This is the place where we offer our self-compassion. Just going to take a moment of self-compassion today to end our practice and feel us all linked together as this integration in our hearts. Feeling this compassionate awareness being offered to self. So gentleness towards self that arrives as the eyes slowly open and the head lifts. Thank you for sharing your time, your energy, your presence.